everyone, it's Tracy. Welcome back to week 2 of May 2019. This is my second page that I have done, and let me tell you about this page, multi-leveled page. I got to thinking about this paper and the way that everything kind of draws towards the middle. And I remember when I talked about putting it together that I could have it to be like an outside border. But then I thought, well, gosh, if I cut out the inside, then it would just like draw your eyes towards the middle, like a focus for the page. So that's what I do. Now, I did have to pull the black cardstock from my stash. I didn't have any black that I had pulled, and because I'm doing, yes, another layout on my cat, and they're black, I've got to have some black cardstock. So kind of fiddle with this. I think I cut it down, I want to say 1.5 inches, and I just trim around, I don't know, 1/4 inch on two sides so that you only see just a little sliver of the yellow, as the border. Now, I don't want to scare anyone about snakes. So if you're a little squeamish about snakes, and I'm talking garden snakes, then go ahead and stop the video now and go on to somebody else that's in the Mini Kit Monday group, because this is about snakes that I have found in my house. Yeah, and they're just the little garden snakes. They're not poisonous. And yeah. So about a month ago or more, um, I was in my scrap room and the cats were kind of acting goofy, and I certainly didn't think anything about snakes. I thought it was a piece of paper. I wasn't really looking. I just saw that they were kind of looking at something. And I thought, you guys are just a bunch of weirdos. Well, um, then as you know, when I was done doing whatever I was doing, I walked to the back of the house and I was calling the cats to see if they wanted to go outside. And when I turned around to come back into my scrap room, there was a dead snake in my living room. But it was belly up, so I knew it was gone. And I thought, now where the heck did that come from? Because I had to pass that area, when I went to the back of the house. So I figured, well, one of the cats brought it out, and I thought, okay, all right, whatever. So I had to pick it up, and that is going to be for another layout. Yes, because I took pictures of the one that's belly up because I couldn't believe it. I was so shocked. Well, till about 2 weeks later, there was another snake in my scrap room, and now I'm thinking, "Okay, now where are they coming in? They're somewhere in here." But I had rearranged my scrap room. I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything. Well, then, uh, this past week, I found a 3rd snake in my house, and this one was in my kitchen. After talking it over with my friends, determined that Sophie is bringing them in, and she's playing with them. So I have to say the 3rd snake that she brought in, last time I saw it, it went underneath the stove, and I haven't seen it since. So it's still somewhere here in my house. But I'm not too worried about it because it's just a little garden snake. So I hope to be honest with you, I kind of feel sorry for him. The only one that was dead that I saw was the first one. The second one was alive. I got it, took it outside, and of course, this last one was definitely alive. Oh, anyway, so I wanted to make sure I journal about this because this is a story I haven't been able to tell about any of my cats. Now, Sophie is known to bring in mayflies, moths, geckos, lizards. She hasn't brought in any rodents, thank goodness. And to be honest with you, I've had a mice infestation when I lived in California. I'd rather have the little snakes in the house than to have mice. I'm just saying, that's just me. Okay, so that's pretty much what the story is about, and if you look at the photo, if you'll see the first close-up of the photo, you'll see I guess I kinda caught Sophie as she was stretching, and when they stretch, they kind of extend their claws because their claws are all out, they're really long, and it looks like she's, like, on the prowl for something. I can't believe I got that photo. Anyway, so I was just going to title this Hunter, and that's how I start this, and so those are the only letters that I pull out, and of course, I'm using the beautiful flowers from Cheeky Studios. I think I'm gonna have enough to last me the whole month. I didn't use any, scrap paper. Remember last week, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, how am I gonna get through the whole month? I don't have hardly any scrap paper left." So I've got 2 more weeks. Let's see, cross my fingers. I'll try to figure out how to make all this work. So I'm having to use my tweezers because these are foam letters and they get a little wonky. They don't bend. Well, I guess you would say they kinda bend. And those are little tags. They were from Maggie Holmes. I think they're from Maggie Holmes. And I had trimmed off the ends, and so I just tuck them under here with the flowers. Now, I don't have a lot of dimension in my embellishments. I mean, I do have some chipboard, but they're just little words, and I do use a couple of those. But I want to have a little bit more dimension, so I put foam underneath this flower. I normally don't put this much foam on a little piece like this, but for some reason I felt I needed to, and so I did. I don't get it. Sometimes I barely put any, and then sometimes I put, like, way too much. It's really well, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so the butterfly, I only put the glue on the body, the thorax part of the butterfly because I want the wings to be, kind of free flowing. They're not glued down. So the white chipboard that I use, it says "So crazy," and then I put an orange one down and it says "Yay." Yeah, because that's like, I'm so excited now I have snakes in my house. And then I love, love, love these puffy dots, and I just can't use those enamel dots. I'm looking at them, moving on. And then I do use a couple, just 2 little sequins. I use the Distress Collage Medium to glue it down. Now, before I forget, make sure that you check the other ladies out. I'm gonna leave links to their channels in my description box, and, make sure you check out the still shots. Okay, guys, I will see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.